everyone, my name is Virginia and I'm a registered clinical counselor at Angel Hands Integrative Center. I've mentioned trauma in my last couple of videos and I realized that I'm taking it for granted that people really understand exactly what that means. Even myself as a counselor didn't fully understand what trauma was or how it happens or what the symptoms are until I was professionally trained. What I learned during that process actually was that I had been suffering from the symptoms of trauma for most of my life and I didn't even know it. I think that that's probably because I, like I would imagine most people do, think of trauma as some kind of a, physical attack or something like that. We've heard of people who have gone off to fight in a war, for example, and come back and suffer from the symptoms of PTSD. And so I just thought, well, I've never been in a war, I've never been physically attacked like that, so I guess I don't have trauma. But while these kinds of events can certainly lead to trauma, they are not the only causes. So I'd like to start with just a general definition of trauma. So trauma is an overwhelmingly stressful event that overwhelms a person's ability to cope with whatever that event happens to be and causes problems for that person over a long period of time. That's a pretty broad definition and it probably applies to a lot of people. It also would suggest that given people are different, people will respond differently to a potentially traumatic event, and some people will be traumatized by it and some people won't. One thing becomes clear then, that you can't decide whether or not a person has trauma based on the event that happened to them. What tells a person if they have trauma are the symptoms. Some of the symptoms include chronic anxiety, sleep disturbances, including nightmares perhaps, pervasive negative thoughts that keep running around in your mind and you can't seem to shut them off, flashbacks of past events, and chronic physical pain that remains undiagnosed. So that's an overview of some of the symptoms of trauma, and if you feel like you can relate to any of those, I would recommend that you seek some professional support, because the thing about trauma is time doesn't heal it. It's not going to go away on its own. In fact, it can get worse and it can lead to chronic conditions like generalized anxiety disorder and depression and of course chronic pain. In the next video, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about some of the situations that can lead to trauma, and I'm also going to be talking about a very effective type of treatment. So until next time, take care of yourself. See you later.